Hi, welcome. Today we're looking at building your own hierarchy for an OCD ERP treatment. So bear with that and let's start. I'm Jaime and I'm a CBT, EMDR and EMDR therapist and the director of the online therapy clinic. What we're doing today is thinking about how do we start doing your OCD hierarchy. That's the first step in the beginning of exposure and response prevention. And it's getting to know how things operate in your life. Not just the theory, also in practice. That's where your hierarchy comes in. A hierarchy is essentially a personalized list of situations, thoughts, actions that you fear or avoid because of OCD. It's a practical tool that helps you map out what you want to tackle and when to begin. Think about your day-to-day life. What do you tend to do? What do you tend to avoid? What do you don't do? What do you feel compelled to do? What do you neutralize? What do you try to fix? These are the kinds of experiences that belong on your list. That's the bespoke, tailor-made list for you. The goal is to create a clear picture of the things that OCD has convinced you are dangerous, dirty, unacceptable, and most importantly, reclaiming your life. Those parts of your life that you want to regain and the values that go with them. So, is it difficult to create a hierarchy? Not really. Some people download PDFs with a ladder, other people get an app, other people want to be more freestyling. I personally, piece of paper, pen, and I crack on with it. Now, I have worked for a long time and I invite people to write it on their mobile phones. They can text themselves in a private chat only to themselves or on a notepad or your writing pad, digital writing pad. You jot them down anywhere where it suits you, where you have it. And what do you write down? You write when it triggers your anxiety or leads to compulsions. So if you get stuck and you think, oh, I'm not sure, well, I'm sure most of the people I talk to, they know. If you were to not remember all these things, then you can think back in the last few days, few weeks, and ask yourself, when did I perform this ritual? What did I avoid? If you have close ones and you have spoken with them about your OCD, maybe you want to ask them, what have you noticed? What are you doing? What am I doing? Right? So once you got the list, it's time to turn it into hierarchy. This means organizing your fear situations by how distressing they feel right now. So you go to the top, let's assume it's 100 out of 100, and you place the most anxiety situation provoking on the top. You can simply imagine any of the situation if you were to face him today. And if you do, then it's going to be a 75. If you were to find them right now, then you will know that that's a 75. Or if you thought actually wouldn't be any any distress at all or very low, you could put a 10, right? So 0 to 10, easiest to hardest. Sometimes it's easy to start with the 0 or the 10, was your 50, was your 100, then you go, what is your 25, what is your 75, and then you start putting things in between, right? Touching things, going out, talking to people, whatever it is, right? And at the bottom, you place the things that they are as little things that you avoid and they don't feel discomfort. Maybe they become a routine. So maybe it's just touching the lights or not touching something or saying something somewhere. It's so individual to you that I cannot give enough examples. When you add everything to your hierarchy, you can add everything what you think, uh, and you remember something tomorrow or next week, you go back to that paper, to that message, to that text, whatever it is, you write it down and it pops up. So when you have the hierarchy, it's not a close end finish, never be touched again. It's a living document. You continually moving things up and down. What you thought it was going to be very hard, it became very easy. What you thought it was very easy, it actually very hard, right? So once you have that, then you're ready to go. And then in another videos and in previous videos as well, we will walk through how to choose where to start in the hierarchy. And for now, focus everything what you can in getting that down and doing that roadmap, right? You can check back some of the videos where we talk about the cycle of OCD, and then you can, with that, you can find even more things you do. And follow us in the next videos. Thank you very much.